In the Quran, inshallah, I'm going to show you through one example, the example of traveling, how a Muslim should live a purposeful life, not to do anything useless that wastes his time, only through one example of traveling. And you'll see how it develops a mindset, gives you a mindset that when you're traveling, it must have a purpose, right? So I'll just show you translations. Firstly, from chapter 3, verse 137, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Similar situations as yours have passed on before you, so proceed throughout the earth and observe how was the end of those who denied, for a purpose, right? Then siru fil ard, so travel through the land and then observe how was the end of the deniers. Then chapter number 12, verse 109. So have they not traveled through the earth and observed how was the end of those before them? Again, a purpose. The chapter number 16, verse 36. So proceed, that is, travel through the earth and observe how was the end of the deniers. Chapter number 22, verse 46. So have they not traveled through the earth and have hearts by which to reason and ears by which to hear? And then chapter number 27, verse 69. قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, say, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, proceed, that is, travel through the land and observed how was the end of the criminals. Chapter number 29, verse 20. قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, say, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, travel through the land and observe how he began creation. Then Allah will produce the final creation, that is development. Indeed, Allah over all things is competent. Again, purpose to travel. Chapter number 30, verse 9. Have they not traveled through the earth and observed how was the end of those before them? Chapter number 30, verse 42. Say, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, travel through the land and observe how was the end of those before. Most of them were associators of others with Allah. Chapter number 35, verse 44. Have they not traveled through the land and observed how was the end of those before them, and they were greater than them in power, but Allah is not to be caused failure that is prevented by anything in the heavens or on the earth. Indeed, he is ever knowing and competent. Then chapter number 40, verse 21. أَوَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, have they not traveled through the land and observed how was the end of those who were before them? They were greater than them in strength and in impression on the land, but Allah seized them for their sins. Chapter number 40, verse 82. How have they not traveled through the land and observed how was the end of those before them? They were more numerous than themselves and greater in strength and in impression on the land, but they were not availed by what they used to earn. And then finally, chapter number 47, verse 10. أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, have they not traveled through the land and seen how was the end of those before them? Allah destroyed everything over them, and for the disbelievers is something comparable. And this is just to show you that you can get these verses from tanzil.net. When you read the Qur'an, it gives you a mindset that this is one example through traveling. However, a Muslim should live a purposeful life, right? Connecting traveling to a purpose, right? That shows you that a Muslim must have, when he does anything, it must have a purpose. He shouldn't live a useless, a wasteful life, right? It's a mindset that is coming through this one example of traveling.